15 love.
It's going to be intriguing to see how the body holds up. Just so many matches this summer for Medvedev.
It speaks volumes to what a competitor Medvedev is. Pretty relaxed guy, intense on the court, but off the court, very relaxed guy. But there's a great competitive desire that burns within. Foot fault called there on Stan Wawrinka.
Just to reiterate the physical challenges Medvedev has had to deal with, the cramp throughout, well, during the first week, during his passage through the draw in the first week, and adductor problem, which is sort of thigh hip area, isn't it? Those have been pretty tight. Shoulder problem, he's got lots of tape on, painkillers before his last match too. But he's used the crowd in a slightly unconventional way to come through those matches.
What an incredible rally there. And that's one of the hallmarks of Medvedev's game, is his movement. Something I believe that was overlooked by most people when he first came on tour. He covers so much ground.
Well, early stages, of course, but the body looks okay.
He stands at 6'6", but he's very rangy.
Goes wide.
Game, Medvedev.
An early break for the Russian. What a start. Yeah,
Daniil Medvedev to serve.
Win for the Russian on that occasion, 2017 at Wimbledon. In fact, it was his first ever Grand Slam victory. So it's
15 love.
Full circle in some ways, isn't he?
Come quite a long way in just over 2 years.
Yeah, a lot has happened, of course, with Stan's double knee surgery in that period as well. End of 2017, that's when he had the knee problems. Slowly but surely working his way back. Medvedev now up to number 5 in the world.
A little bit of a sluggish start here from Wawrinka, and you just wonder, you talk about the emotion of a night match against world #1, just the energy that's in the building at night, and now all of a sudden pressure kind of shifts. Even though Medvedev is ranked 5 in the world, Wawrinka would have to think inside his mind that he's the favorite.
(40-15).
As you mentioned, Lee, this is Medvedev's first Grand Slam quarterfinal. Medvedev lacking in experience, but sure not showing it at this level.
(40-30).
No, he's a curious character, the Russian, isn't he? He seems to have something special going on between the ears. Slightly quirky character, but he certainly seems to have a mental strength. It's certainly an element of his game that has improved over recent times. Been working with a sports psychologist for a couple of years now, trying to toughen him up upstairs.
I remember watching him play quite a bit last year.
The
He was
use.
very emotional on the court. Good competitor, but did have times where he would kind of come in and out of matches. I think that's something he's improved tremendously in 2019.
Well.
Advantage, Wawrinka.
Double faults.
There's a look at his coach on the left, Gilles Savara. Also his wife, Daria.
Please.
This is getting ugly. Breakpoint chance for Stan.
Oh, wow.
Use.
After 2 double faults, second serve opportunity from Wawrinka. Just tries to chip it back in play and misses it wide. Medvedev says thank you.
It's not quite firing at the moment.
Advantage, Medvedev.
The strength of Medvedev, though, is that he keeps you off balance. Such an important facet of the game. If you can keep your opponent off balance.
Game, Medvedev.
Well, a good hold in the end, not the most straightforward.
Medvedev leads 2 games to love.
But he'll
First
be very
set.
pleased with the start he's made when he glances up at the scoreboard. Two titles this season, as you mentioned, Mark. 3 last year. 1 down under very early in the season. He won in Winston-Salem in the heat and the humidity. 1 in Tokyo. Beat Nishikori on home soil in that final, ATP 500 level. In fact, all 3 of those
15
finals,
love.
interestingly, last year against home favourites, which I think in retrospect maybe tells you a bit about
That's interesting.
his character. He beat Nishikori, as I just mentioned, in Tokyo, which is
30 love.
not an easy task. He beat Stevie Johnson, yeah, in Winston. And he beat Alex de Minaur in Sydney. That was his first title. And I
30,
think we've
15.
seen a bit of that side of his character here in New York, because he doesn't mind playing the villain.
Yeah. Does a good job of channeling maybe the negative energy from the crowd in a positive way, which is not easy to do.
(40-15). Game.
Well, a bit of a sluggish start from Wawrinka, but he's
Wawrinka.
on the board. That will please him. But it's the Russian with the early break, 2-1.
Medvedev leads 2 games to 1.
So fast start for Daniil Medvedev, the Russian. Upper break, 2-1, first set, first quarterfinal. In the men's draw. Just a
Love,
reminder who's
15.
come through down in the bottom half. 4th round matches yesterday down in the bottom half. Matteo Berrettini, the Italian 24th seed, he beat Rublev. Monfils beat Andahar. Schwartzman beat Zverev. Nadal beat Cilic. So it's Berrettini, Monfils, Schwartzman, Nadal tomorrow.
Medvedev will be comfortable
15
just
all.
trading ground strokes all day. He has tremendous patience when he plays. You just wonder if Wawrinka will try to employ the slice a little bit, the short slice, maybe try to get Medvedev to move a little bit more north and south rather than east and west. Medvedev has improved his transition game. It's still not at the same level of the rest of his game.
And by east, west,
40-15.
north, south, players have different strengths moving in different directions.
Yeah, east-west is obviously laterally for Medvedev. He moves very well, gives himself a lot of room, but I mentioned he's very rangy, covers a lot of territory. Not quite as adept moving
40-30.
forwards and backwards, north and south. But obviously it takes a certain shot from the opposition to expose that. Usually a slice if you have a one-hander.
4 double faults from the Russian, opening 13 minutes. That's another.
Deuce.
He has had shoulder issues, hasn't he, the last 2 or 3 days. And look at his French coach, Gilles Savara, based down in Nice, those guys. Medvedev lives in Monte Carlo, so makes that drive one of the more picturesque drives to work.
It's interesting, you know, players are always aware of the schedule a little bit. And I think this
Medvedev.
day match schedule is more of a benefit for Medvedev. You're a little bit surprised by the crowd reaction. I can tell you, I think it would have been ×2 if it was a night match.
Again, it's interesting. It hasn't featured since, has it? Since the walk on.
I think ultimately the crowd wants to see a very competitive, great match.
Deuce.
If Wawrinka can start to reach the heights that he did the other night, he can start kind of injecting some enthusiasm into the crowd and really draw them in. And maybe we'll see it feature a little bit more.
Yeah, and it has emptied. Well, it does empty just a touch,
Medvedev.
doesn't it? Of course, we just had the first ladies quarterfinal. Svitolina beating Jo Konta. So naturally the stadium empties out. People head out for some food and drinks. That's a little bit flatter.
Game,
The opening
Medvedev.
stages. Gets the hold. Despite
Medvedev
those
leads 3-1.
5 double
First set.
faults in his opening 2 service games. He's up 3-1. Just a reminder to head to the official tournament website, usopen.org, for all your live scoring, point-by-point scoring, stats, schedules on there, all the draws.
15 love.
Breaking news, player interviews. It's a busy week ahead.
Celebrity sightings.
Yes, plenty of those. Rafa Nadal had a familiar face in his box last night. Tiger Woods.
30 love.
You're impressed with Rafa?
I was very impressed. I thought not only did he play well, I love the in-match adjustment he made, a little bit more aggressive on the second serve return, changed his court positioning, paid huge dividends. He looks awfully good.
30-15.
Nice variety there from Medvedev. It's just the subtleties of his game. It doesn't show itself because he plays fairly similar off both wings, but he changes the pace with his pace of shot. Not afraid to mix in a couple drop shots. Hits his backhand extremely flat.
40-15.
He's improved the forehand quite a bit over the last 12 months.
Game.
Narrows the
Wawrinka.
gap, but needs to break Wawrinka to get back on level terms. 3-2 first set.
Medvedev leads 3-2. First set.
Medvedev, the world number 5 seed, with a win today, would go into the number 4 spot in the live rankings. Currently occupied by
Love 15.
Dominic Thiem. Of course, Thiem's early departure here in New York, and Medvedev's progression through the draw. Let's see, will leapfrog the
15-all.
Austrian. He's actually number 4 in the race to London as well. That's the top 8, of course. The end of the year-end championships, the Nitto ATP finals. So it's looking like we'll see the Russian there for a first time. Nadal, Djokovic, Federer have already qualified.
Fifteen, 30.
So again, Wawrinka making inroads on the Medvedev serve.
Medvedev continues to serve well when he needs to. You mentioned Lee 5 double faults already. Doesn't seem to found the rhythm exactly, but he's come up with some big serves when he's needed it. Quick look at both coaches, Magnus Norman on your left, then Danny Valvardu on the right, both coaching Stan Wawrinka.
Here we go, then, another chance
40.
for Wawrinka. He's already had 1 break point. Here's another chance to level.
Please.
Oh, you could see Wawrinka moved well back for the second serve return and still somehow got jammed. Not able to get enough on that backhand return, landing well short. Medvedev quickly moves forward and drills the forehand.
Advantage.
Number 6.
Wawrinka.
It's Wawrinka, break point number 2 of this game, 3 overall. Survives another.
Medvedev has an uncanny ability. No negative emotion after the double faults. 6 double faults. Clearly doesn't have the rhythm on the second serve, but just gets right after it.
Advantage, Medvedev.
It's a much bigger first serve, 123. Averaging 6 miles an hour more than his Swiss opponent. Fastest 129 so far. Again, takes the deep position up, but
Medvedev.
again makes a mess of the return, and it's
Medvedev
another hold.
leads
He's
4 games to
wriggled
2.
out of another game.
You talk about survival. He's been in trouble every single service game, mostly because of some double faults, but has stayed really focused mentally and has been able to hold serve every time.
Love.
He does win this match, of course, just 23 years of age. Would become the youngest US Open semi-finalist since Djokovic, 2010, who was also 23. Another footfall. That's his second of this opening set. And look at the first Russian semi-finalist at a Grand Slam since Mikhail Yuzhny, who's been back on tour, hasn't he?
Yeah, coach of Denis Shapovalov, who had a nice run here at the US Open, losing a very exciting match to Gael Monfils.
Nicely done.
Did you catch some of that match, Shapovalov-Monfils?
I did that match, actually. Yeah.
That was some of the better ball strikings I've seen during this US Open.
It was crazy stuff at times. Wonderful atmosphere, as ever, on Armstrong, the second biggest court here. The place is noisy, especially with the roof closed as well. Caught the end of Berrettini-Rublev over there with the roof closed. It was wet yesterday. It's got a different kind of feeling, those courts in New York, haven't they?
Yeah. Nice atmosphere, the crowd builds, the energy builds.
Game, Wawrinka.
He's holding much more comfortably than Medvedev right now, but he's still trailing. The Russians still with the break. 4-3.
Medvedev leads 4 games to 3, first set.
We're back in business. 4-3 with a break. He must have been in that position a few times, Mark. How comfortable or maybe uncomfortable does it feel when you've got that heavy strapping on, you're trying to adjust to it quickly?
I think it's going to take a couple of points, just because that's really tightened up that left quad. You just wonder if that's troubling him a little bit on the second serve. It's interesting, you know, it looks to my eye that Wawrinka isn't hitting the ball with the same type of force that he was against Novak the other night, and Hawkeye confirms that, which is great because that's how it looks to me. That's more like it there from Wawrinka. That's the type of pace we're used to seeing from Wawrinka, especially off that backhand side.
30-all.
Good defense there, and then this is a 92-mile-an-hour backhand winner.
40-30.
Wawrinka has been averaging about 75 miles an hour off his forehand and backhand so far in this match. The other night against Novak, he was at 77 miles an hour. So it might not seem like that much, 2 miles an hour, but trust me, that's a difference, especially at this elite level.
game away then from a one-set lead. And a step closer to what would be a first Grand Slam semi-final.
One other thing that stood out to me the other night when I called the match against Djokovic was how big Wawrinka was serving. He's always had a great serve, but he was absolutely hammering his first serve. He was averaging 126 miles an hour on his first serve. So far today, only at 119. That's a decided difference. That's 7 miles an hour. And I don't think it's necessarily a strategy. I just don't think he's quite hit his mark yet. For whatever reason, whether he's uncomfortable. He's only played Medvedev once. What a return from Medvedev. Absolutely no reaction either. Flat as a pancake. That was 90 miles an hour coming from the racket of Medvedev.
Couple of sweet returns back to back, and he'll be in business here. Get this first set done. 2 points required.
Excellent serve there from Wawrinka.
40-30. Game, Wawrinka.
Wawrinka clings on, but he has to break. Medvedev will serve for the first set. 5-4.
Medvedev leads 5 games to 4. First set.
Medvedev has played 20 matches in the last 33 days. The body is just about holding together. Can it hold up long enough to get this first set done? I mean,
Love 15.
Wawrinka, you must be taking positives from this, aren't you?
I'm actually a little surprised Wawrinka hasn't come out with more energy to start, because I would have thought that the start was so much more important. For Wawrinka, everybody knows how much tennis Medvedev has played. Wawrinka's in the locker room with Medvedev. He knows that he's in the training room more than anywhere. He's got to be running on empty. It's a credit to him that he's pushed himself this far. Oh, wow. Back-to-back foot faults there.
Love 40.
A fair few of the crowd probably didn't hear those calls. They were applauding the quality of what they thought was a winning Wawrinka return. 3 break points.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Great block return there from Wawrinka. You felt like Medvedev was going to be out of position, but still able to create.
Another chance. And another one saved. That's 5 now.
30-40.
Medvedev has saved in this first set. One more opportunity for Wawrinka. Get this back onto level terms. This time he pounces.
Game, Wawrinka.
And it gives this first set a very different complexion.
5 games all. First set.
That was an important break of serve. We just talked about how important the start would be for Wawrinka. Now he has a chance to still somehow secure this first set after really not playing that well, especially in comparison to the way he was playing the other night against the world #1.
Love 15. Love 30.
That's what Medvedev does so well. He tracks down so many balls. Just that one extra back. You think that Wawrinka has an easy forehand, and he steers it long.
(15-30).
Kicking himself if he drops serve here again, Wawrinka, having battled his way back into this first set.
That's better.
Go. Yeah.
That's the type of hitting we saw the other night against Djokovic,
30 all.
where he's not afraid to pull the trigger when the moment presents itself.
Feels like he's starting to turn this one around now for Wawrinka. Medvedev just starting to maybe look a little subdued, the body language. Game point.
Let. First service. Game
That's the
Wawrinka.
holds. Has the momentum heading into the closing stages of this opening
Wawrinka
set.
leads 6
Wawrinka up
games to
6-5.
5. First set.
What a magnificent sight. Enjoying quarterfinal action. Our continued live coverage from the 2019 US Open, final major of the year. Medvedev serving to stay in this first set. I just wonder, Mark, what the reaction will be if this first set slips away.
Love 15.
I really think that Wawrinka has a huge opportunity here to really bring this crowd into the match. They're obviously behind him. They know him, former champion, the one who dethroned the world #1 a few nights ago. We mentioned Medvedev has a tenuous relationship with the crowd.
It's been a theme of the first week, isn't it? In New York, it's another double fault.
And to me,
Love
Medvedev,
30.
he does not look right. He looks awfully fatigued. 9 double faults from Medvedev.
Oh, incredible stuff. Somehow comes out on top.
This was a terrific rally.
15-30.
Great net coverage there from Medvedev. All-out hustle from Wawrinka, knowing the importance of that point.
Medvedev 5-3 up in this first set, remember.
Oh, Just can't
30.
give that away if you're Stan Wawrinka. And he's retreating on the second serve return. It's not like he's attacking the second serve. He's got to get that ball in play.
That's some nice net coverage.
It's real interesting for me,
40,
having
30.
watched Medvedev play a lot over the last year and a half. To me, all of a sudden, he's becoming a little more aggressive. He came in a little early there, and I think he's really running on empty. I'm sure that Wawrinka is aware of that.
Just drops wide.
Game, Medvedev.
And Medvedev survives.
And let's be clear, there's a little
First set,
tension
tiebreak.
that comes with this for Wawrinka because he knows it.
Each player
He knows if I
receives
can just
one
secure
additional
this
challenge.
first set, not only do I look great, but hey, there's a possibility this guy might even tap out. But if for some reason Medvedev is able to win this first set, you can tell the way that he competes, maybe he has reason to hang around even longer, regardless of how the body feels.
Look at the tiebreak records this season. Medvedev's is the more positive.
Medvedev is following to the call on the right serve. The ball was called in.
Leads the tour in wins, Medvedev. That's how good it's been this year. 48, 5 ahead of Nadal.
Second serve.
Chess review. Found that was long. Yeah, Nadal on 43, Federer 43, Djokovic 41, Tsitsipas 37. So it's comfortably clear in match wins. Oh, what a lob.
This is what makes
1-0
Medvedev so
Medvedev.
spectacular. A completely unorthodox return there, a chip forehand short, brings Wawrinka into the net, and then a beautiful flick lob off the backhand side. Quick apology, maybe felt he got a little frame on that return.
Just starting
2-0
to get frustrated.
Medvedev.
Must be winding him up, isn't it? Because the needle's on red for Medvedev in terms of fuel in the tank. And yet he might just escape with this first set.
3-0.
There's something about
Medvedev.
having a lot of match wins under your belt is truly, you just know how to win. It sounds like a cliche, and you can see that here, even though he's on empty. Great start to the breaker for Medvedev.
Medvedev.
Medvedev, similar to Nadal, challenges the linesmen and lineswomen at the back of the court to return the first serve well back.
Medvedev.
A little tighter now. Wawrinka will be feeling better about his chances. It could be a crucial set in terms of determining Medvedev's energy levels. Is he's got him again.
That is nothing short of
4-2
spectacular
Medvedev.
from Medvedev. That was such a good drop shot. And how about the wheels from Wawrinka? You mentioned the urgency that Wawrinka must feel trying to secure this first set. Tremendous get there. But as we've seen already, beautiful topspin lob off the backhand side from Medvedev.
Frustration is building. Quarterfinal action, the top half today. Of course, Wawrinka getting past Djokovic, so this is at the very top of the draw. The winner of this one plays the winner of the contest between Federer and Dimitrov. Later today, of course, Daniil Medvedev, former coach of Grigor Dimitrov's, helping out with Stan these days. I think that started around the start of the grass season, around the Queen's Week. A little closer to a one-set lead, the Russian.
Medvedev.
I think something that gets overlooked with Medvedev is his tennis IQ. Just all of a sudden has gotten a little more aggressive. We talk about him being the ultimate counterpuncher, but he seems to know when to attack. Chooses the right times. Did you notice that little change up from
Medvedev?
Medvedev moved in on the second serve, up 5-2 on the scoreline. He's going to have a crack at it. Went for the forehand return.
Yeah, Gilles Savara, the coach, says he's a thinker, very smart guy, on and off the court. So sometimes I can't figure him out. Because I'll tell him to go cross-court, he goes down the line. Tell him to go down the line, he goes cross-court. But it works.
Sounds like a perfect player-coach relationship.
Been together a while, around 4 or 5 years now. Based at a small tennis center in Nice.
Let for service.
Gilles Savara starting that center with Jean-René Lisnard, a former French pro.
Let for service.
Couldn't quite control the low volley.
5-all.
So the Russian was up 5-3 in the game score. He was up 5-2 in the breaker. Back to 5-all. Called long, the volley.
Medvedev is holding to the call on the right baseline. The ball was called out.
Chase review. Is this quarter piece of the line? It hasn't. It is long. And it's a popular chase review.
6-5. Wawrinka.
And it brings up a
Medvedev
set
has
point
3 challenges remaining.
for the Swiss star.
What a stab return from Medvedev. It was a huge serve out wide from Wawrinka, 123 miles an hour.
On we go.
Seemed like that return just hung in the air for an eternity if you're in the Wawrinka box.
Yeah, the number of the crowds inside Arthur Ashe Stadium were thinking, hoping that it was floating long. Just 2 points separating these two. 47 for Wawrinka against Medvedev's 45. It's 6 games all, 6 points apiece. He's nudged it long.
7-6, Medvedev.
It's just a brilliant shot, quite frankly, from Medvedev. Just bringing Wawrinka forward a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Just a couple of minutes off the hour mark inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. Set point for the Russian. And it's long.
Wawrinka is challenged to the call
There
on the
will
right
be a chase
baseline.
review.
The ball was called out.
But Medvedev heads for his chair. Wawrinka heads for his chair. I think this one missed. And it has. The first set goes the way of
Game
the
and first
Russians.
set, Medvedev.
7
7
games to 6. Medvedev to get this second underway.
15 love.
Fascinating mark to get inside the head of Stan Wawrinka right now.
You never truly do know, but really had the feeling that if Wawrinka could have secured that first set, possibly he might have only had to play one more set of tennis. Medvedev looked awfully exhausted, very little in the tank.
Let. Second service.
You do have to be careful with Medvedev because he does look like that at times. He's a very good poker player as far as his emotions.
Well, that was a feature of the first of those controversial post-match interviews, wasn't it, against the win against Feli Lopez, and part of that address to the crowd was that, you know, my legs were hurting, my shoulders hurting, and maybe wasn't even going to play the match, but you guys pulled me through.
Game Medvedev.
So that's how
First
much
game,
the body has
set.
been hurting. So the Russian, the fairly quick hold, 7-1 love, he leads. That's a lovely forehand.
You know, if you're on the coaching team of Medvedev, knowing how much he's hurting, how much the body has taken on this summer, if there is one little thing you maybe try to point out positive, hey, if you can get by today, the benefit of playing your quarterfinal today on Tuesday, you don't play the semifinal till Friday. That would essentially mean he'd get 2 days off.
30 love.
Which probably sounds pretty good right about now for Daniil Medvedev.
I think he'd sign for that, wouldn't he? Let's crawl back into the king size, back in Manhattan somewhere.
40 love.
I think he's hit enough balls, hasn't he, over the last 3 weeks or so.
I have a feeling his warm-ups for the matches have gotten shorter and shorter.
Game Wawrinka. 1 game all. Second set.
I think on the other side of the net for Wawrinka, although he'll be disappointed after fighting his way back into that first set and not being able to secure it, I think he'd have to take some comfort in knowing that he's not playing at full flight yet. So there's a few more levels that Wawrinka can reach back for,
15
in
love.
my opinion. And also he's fresh physically. And a beautiful shade covering this Arthur Ashe Stadium now.
Nicely done.
15-all.
Coming out on top in a little bit of cat and mouse.
Thirty, 15. All. $40-30.
That's really been the difference so far, I think, in the match. We've just seen a couple opportunities that Wawrinka's had on the return where he's missed a couple of second serves or possibly dropped the return too short.
Drop shot not good enough. Wawrinka hanging around in this third game. Again, same story.
Advantage
Too
Medvedev.
many missed second serve returns from Wawrinka. As we mentioned, he's not up on the baseline trying to take those early. He's retreating back, giving himself space, giving himself time.
Correction. Ball's good. Replay the point.
Overall from the chair this time. No
Advantage
arguments
Medvedev.
from the Russian.
Game. Medvedev.
Tidies up
New balls,
efficiently.
please.
So a hold for the Russian. He's up. Set and 2-1.
$15 love.
Russian with an 18-2 win-loss record. One title, 3 finals. That's between 30th of July and 1st of September. Just Kyrgios in the Washington final and Nadal in the Montreal final. The two players
15 all.
who've got the better of him during the US Open series.
Let for service. 15-30.
Again, a slightly peculiar forehand, wasn't it, from Wawrinka?
So apprehensive. Just seems a little bit unsure of how to attack Medvedev. And that's to be expected. You know,
30-all.
think about the other night when he played Djokovic. That was their 25th meeting, and they practice together all the time. They know each other so well. I mentioned these guys have only played once before. Medvedev felt relatively new to the tour over the last 2 years. So players are still trying to figure out Medvedev's game.
$40-30.
That's excellent job there from Medvedev. Stepping in on that return, has exceptional timing on both wings, but especially off that backhand side. Very flat delivery. Nice contact out in front.
This is the danger, isn't it, for Wawrinka? Maybe
Advantage Medvedev.
when the Swiss player was working his way back into that first set, Medvedev's wondering whether he's got enough in the tank. If he breaks here, it's halfway there.
Yeah.
He's missed the forehands.
Yay, Medvedev.
It is a break of serve. And Medvedev takes control.
3-1. Second set.
It's a bit of a head scratcher, this one, isn't it? Another reminder to head to usopen.org, the official tournament website. Download the US Open app for scores, stats, highlights, player news, celebrity sightings, and much more available in the App Store and Google Play Store. Ooh, everything going his way.
And this is why I say it often. This is why tennis is such a fascinating game. You see the way Wawrinka played 2 nights ago against Djokovic, and all of a sudden you're starting to pencil him in. His form can stand up against anybody. Then all of a sudden you change the matchup.
On the right service line.
Medvedev, one of his strengths, he can just keep his opponents off balance. And we haven't seen the same Wawrinka yet as we saw the other night. Seems a little bit unsure of himself, not crushing the ball like he was against Djokovic.
No. Medvedev has 2 challenges remaining.
The important thing for Medvedev is he serves well enough to where he can kind of just try to protect serve and look for those slight opportunities and kind of manage his game according to his health, which he's doing so far here. Played an excellent first set breaker.
Footfall called there.
We've seen absolutely no emotion from Medvedev so far in this match. He's had a couple of foot faults. He's had 9 double faults. Nothing has phased him yet.
Game, Medvedev.
It's a pretty big serve to wrap up the game. 124 miles an hour. It's quickly built a 4-1 lead. Guns N' Roses from the DJ.
Love. Love.
Playing catch up again. He's got to get a hold here. Medvedev just sort of meandering his way through this contest. Low-key kind of
40 love.
Slightly sleepy mid-afternoon kind of atmosphere to the match in the heat. Playing into the Russians' hands.
Game, Wawrinka. Medvedev leads 4-2, second set.
Time starting to run out for Medvedev, for Wawrinka, should I say, in this second set. Again, back pedals deep for the return.
It's just masterful. We see so often players trade ground strokes back and forth, bludgeoning the ball. And right away, Medvedev realizes, okay, let me just change it up right here with a little finesse. Love the way he changes the pace during rallies. That's the key thing.
Usually a slice that time.
30 love.
And a slightly different ball for Wawrinka to try and take on.
(30-15).
Great job there from Medvedev, absorbing some of the pace from Wawrinka, able to stay neutral and ultimately be in position to hit a big forehand up the line.
(40-30).
It's been a very efficient set of tennis from Medvedev. Just the 2 unforced errors in this second set. It's given Wawrinka nothing at all.
And you can hear this crowd, right? They want to get behind Wawrinka. I just feel like Wawrinka has not brought the crowd in enough based on the introduction that was presented to Medvedev as he took the court.
Advantage Medvedev.
Clearly, Wawrinka knew going in he was going to be the crowd favorite, that he could use the crowd. And he really has not done it at all.
Another missed return off a second serve. Plays into Medvedev's hands. The Russian is up 5 games to 2.
And by 1 set to love. $15 love. $15-all.
He's not quite in the Daniil Medvedev territory with double faults, but that's his second. 9 for the Russian. Every one of them in the first set, incredibly.
$30-15.
It's a nice hit. More aggression.
40-15.
You know, we've surmised that we believe that Wawrinka's just a little flat. It's definitely not fatigue. Just surprised. You mentioned this is his 17th quarterfinal at a Grand Slam appearance. He has so much more experience in this type of situation than his opponent. I feel like he's not using that to his advantage.
Gives himself one more opportunity, though.
5 games to 3. Second set.
Norman and Danny Medvedev deep in conversation, trying to raise Stan's spirits and belief that he can turn this second set around. Did a good job in the first set. Remember, he was down. Managed to force a breaker, had the set point. Just couldn't quite convert.
$30 love.
Big serves to start the game, halfway there. That's a better job on the second serve.
Yeah, one of the few times that Wawrinka's been able to win a point off of the second serve of Medvedev in this set. Only the second point he's won on the second serve return in this set. Medvedev 9 of 11.
$30-all.
Another use of the change of pace on that occasion, just getting a little too much air underneath the drop shot. Gave Wawrinka a little bit more time to get up to the one-handed backhand. First time we've seen him ask for some energy from the crowd.
Thank you.
And what a reaction.
They want to give it to him.
It's all it takes. Can he use this? 30-all. Medvedev comes back to life.
Maybe he hasn't used it because he heard
40-30.
Medvedev's post-match things where he said, I love the more negative energy.
Set point for a 2-set lead.
Wawrinka challenged the call on the
There'll be a
right
challenge,
service line.
a
The
chase
ball was
review.
called in.
Medvedev thinks he's made it. 130 miles an hour. That first serve. An anxious wait. And it's good. Takes
Game,
the second
Medvedev.
set 6-3.
Second set, 6-3. Medvedev leads by 2-love. Love.
Second Grand Slam quarterfinal, of course, for Stan this year. First coming up the French, that was the first real sign that the body was able to withstand the rigors of the rigors of 5-set tennis. An incredible match. Played in Paris against Stefanos Tsitsipas in the last 16. 8-6 in the fifth. Over 5 hours on court, on a clay court, remember. Hot conditions, one of the matches of the tournament. I guess those are the contests, Mark, that really give you ultimate confidence that the body's back where it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, Wawrinka for sure. I think he has the belief he can still come back in this match.
Game, Wawrinka.
Back into this match by trying to get a lead here in this third set.
Light for service. Love.
Has come back from 2-0 down. Wawrinka on 6 occasions during his career. The last of those back in 2013, though. That was on the clay of Paris as well. A win over Gasquet. He's got those victories in the memory banks.
all.
And he still must feel that if he can turn this into a physical battle, he would have the edge. If he could haul himself back into it and force a deciding set.
15-30.
You just feel like he needs to get ahead in the scoreboard. He's been behind in both sets. He fought back in that first set to take it to a tiebreak. Something to get this crowd energized and fired up and in his corner.
$15-40.
10th and 11th double faults, and all of a sudden Wawrinka's been handed a couple of opportunities on a plate here. There we go. An early break.
Wawrinka.
And some positive body language.
Wawrinka leads 2-love. Third set.
It's really funny there, actually. It was a great reaction from Wawrinka. And you saw him look up to his box with some energy. No response from the box. A little surprising. I thought they would have been up on their feet, fully energized.
Both fairly low-key guys, aren't they, Magnus Norman and Danny?
Yeah, but I think you got to know when your player needs it.
Oh,
right?
sure.
Love 15. Medvedev is challenged to the call on the left center service line. The ball was called in.
Yep, that's good. Chase review
15 all.
confirming that caught half of the line.
Medvedev has 2 challenges remaining.
Do the drama-free service game here, Wawrinka. Just get that scoreboard ticking over.
(30-15).
That's better stuff there from Wawrinka.
40-15.
Such a difficult player to ace because he's so far back. He's so long as well. With his levers, great range on the return.
Game Wawrinka.
Wawrinka gives his
New
fans some hope.
balls, please.
Quickly rattles through the opening 3 games of this 3rd set. Things looking a little brighter for the Swiss fans in the house. After a fairly
15
rapid
love.
opening 3 games of this 3rd set.
(30 love). (40 love). (40-15).
Just wondering if Medvedev gets down in this set, how much energy he'll invest. Try and save himself potentially a 4th. That was
Game,
pretty good
Medvedev.
game on serve.
Yeah, he's been
Wawrinka
pretty
leads
economical
3
with his
games to
energy
1.
throughout this match.
3rd set.
Very efficient.
USOpen.org is the place to head for all the information surrounding the final major of the season. Stay connected to the US Open on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Join the conversation with #US Open.
(15 love).
Nice serve there from Wawrinka. Took a little bit off.
30 love.
Went for the kick on the first. Really got Medvedev out wide on that backhand side.
40 love. Game, Wawrinka.
A couple of quick service games. Keep this third set moving.
Wawrinka leads 4
Wawrinka
games to 1.
moves
Third
ahead,
set.
4 games to 1. Trailing 4-1, third set. Medvedev up 2 sets to love.
15 love. Love.
Big gamer, Medvedev, in his spare time, so he passes the time. Reckons he could have been pro. He hadn't chosen the tennis route.
Well, it was a couple weeks ago that
40 love.
some gamer right here on this very court at Arthur Ashe Stadium won $3 million. I believe it was Fortnite.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Correctly.
Yeah.
Game,
Kids will not be
Medvedev.
happy that I don't remember that.
Wawrinka leads 4
That
games
was
to
the
2.
first thing that came running
Third set.
downstairs. Dad, a gamer made $3 million playing video games. It was the worst news I'd had probably ever as a parent.
It was funny because there was a British guy who came, I think, second in the doubles for whatever the term is in Fortnite. It's probably not doubles, pairs,
Okay.
whatever. And it was on all the news channels in the UK. Radio 4, Radio 1. I mean, Radio 4 is usually limited to political news.
15 love.
Picked up around 1 million. Medvedev's doing okay, isn't he, I think, in terms of the bank balance. $3.3 million this year. Oh, what happened there? Completely misjudged that.
He
15
almost hit Medvedev. Medvedev had to get out of the way of that one.
$15.30.
That was a tremendous kick serve from Wawrinka. Medvedev had actually moved forward trying to take it early, but that one had a little extra kick on it. Forced Medvedev to just reach a little bit further than he would have liked. Didn't get enough behind that return when he went up the line.
$40.30.
Just got to tick off these couple of service games for Wawrinka. Take this into a 4th set and anything's possible. It's not a bad idea to get Medvedev moving up the courts, get those legs working.
Wawrinka leads 5 games to 2, 3rd set.
This will be the stage when Stan Wawrinka hopes to try to start turning this match around. He's up 5-2. Medvedev serving to stay in this third.
Wawrinka is challenged to the call on the left center service line. The ball was called in.
Struck early in this third set. Broke for 2-love. He's just shaved it. 2 or 3 millimeters.
15-love. Wawrinka has 2 challenges remaining. Love. Love.
Although Medvedev is losing the set, he hasn't expended that much energy. Wawrinka's been able to allow him to hold fairly easily after securing the early break.
Game, Medvedev.
So it will all boil down to Stan's service game.
Wawrinka leads 5-3. Third set.
Pretty efficient in this third set. Behind his first serve, just the 1 point dropped, 14 of 15. I'll try and feed off a bit of extra volume. 5-3. Not the start he was looking for.
Love 15.
Don't see him frame too many of those, do you?
No, especially on that backhand side.
Medvedev challenged to the call on the right center service line. The ball was called in.
I was going to say that felt comfortably in, and it was confirmed by the chase review.
15 all. Medvedev has 1 challenge remaining.
Some nice feel from Wawrinka this time.
30-15.
Doing a better job of all of a sudden using the drop shot to bring Medvedev forward. Second one he's featured in the set.
Tried it again, but nowhere near that time.
30 all.
As he handed Medvedev a lifeline here. Half chance for the Russian.
Forty 30.
Well, Medvedev forcing him to hit one more ball. "32nd winner of the match from Wawrinka's racket. Brings up set point. tackled long. No way.
Use.
Set up the point so well.
Did not have to go for so much there. He felt like there were a couple of choices he could have made with that forehand, including a drop shot. And just a nice rollover cross court would have secured him the set. Instead, went for too much.
Advantage, Medvedev.
You would not have predicted that. Back-to-back forehand misses. And as Wawrinka feeling the tension. Chance now for Medvedev to work his way back into this third set.
Medvedev is challenging the call on the right serve. The ball was called
Looked like
in.
it might have caught both lines. Let's see what Chase Review has to say. Indeed it did.
Views. Medvedev has no more challenges remaining.
So he's burnt the lot, the Russian. One further challenge if he can take this into a breaker. Oh, that is world class from Medvedev.
Advantage, Medvedev.
Well, this was the point of the match so far, Lee. That was a spectacular shot off of the slice. Both men going side to side. 20 shots in that rally of the highest caliber.
Medvedev trying to get the heart rate down. Another chance. Get the break back deep in this third set. It's another big serve, saves the day.
Views.
No challenges left. It's wide.
Advantage, Medvedev.
Tempting Wawrinka into the backhand up the line.
That's where it hurts Wawrinka a little bit not to have more confidence in the slice. See how far back Medvedev is, trying to hit through him constantly. Instead of, if it was a Federer, he would use the short chip.
Another chance for the Russian.
Let for service. Out.
Oh, and overall.
And he's got no challenges left, as you mentioned.
Use.
Hawkeye has confirmed to us that it was wide, so That makes it a little bit easier.
He's got to quickly move on. Wawrinka survives again.
Advantage, Wawrinka.
128 miles an hour, that service. Hit some big ones when he's needed them in this 9th game. And finish the job. Just wondering whether we'd have another chase review there, but Wawrinka deciding against it, accepting that floated long. Another chance. Slips away, deuce number 5.
Medvedev really putting everything into this game just to try to see if he can get back in this 3rd set. Look at his wife, Daria, Medvedev's wife. A little nervous.
He's slightly more tense than his coach, Gilles, isn't he?
Advantage, Medvedev.
We've had a bit of everything in this game. It's that mark, first double of the set.
Tension clearly creeping in for Wawrinka in this game.
To an 11th minute, 4th chance for the Russian.
Oh, that's some big-time tennis. He's consistently gone up the tee in this game.
Use.
When facing break point. Tremendous precision on the serve. Huge forehand here. And I will tell you one thing, this was not that easy of an overhead. As he's moving forward, set the feet and absolutely obliterate the overhead.
On we go, 6th deuce.
Advantage, Wawrinka.
Could be a huge game this in the context of the match. If Wawrinka can get over the line, reduce the deficit to a single set, take some momentum into the 4th.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
3rd set point. And this time he seals it. A little nod of the head,
Wawrinka.
a raise of the fist, and he's back in business.
6 games to 3. Medvedev to serve.
Huge prize on the line, a semi-final place here in New York. Awaits the winner of this one. The Russian to get things going.
Medvedev emptied the tank in that last return game, just trying to get back into that 3rd set. But I think it's still advantageous for him that he serves first in this set. He's done a good job of conserving energy. He looked pretty empty towards the end of that 1st set. No real signs that he's shown over the last 2 sets, but you know he's got to be fairly close to empty. was really interesting to see.
30-15.
The points where shots were over 9, it's really changed. Wawrinka's been the one winning in that third set. The extended rallies, which is something I'd like to see him continue.
40-15.
Make this a physical match. And Wawrinka's historically been one of those that loves physical matches. He's not afraid to. He's never been afraid to go out there and battle.
It's an intelligent volley.
Love 15. Left first service.
That backhand return there from Medvedev, just kind of mid-court, almost tempting Wawrinka to generate his own pace. Wawrinka always has preferred to use the pace from his opponent. He's never been comfortable generating pace on that forehand side. Can do it on the backhand. Much better.
Three chances then for
Love
Medvedev
40.
early on in this fourth set.
So a quick little reversal here. The long rallies so far in this fourth set early, but they're going to Medvedev. He's locked in here.
Just felt like he was starting to come back at Wawrinka maybe. Tail end of the third set.
Game Medvedev.
Not the service game Wawrinka was looking for.
Medvedev leads 2-love. Fourth set.
Quite an extraordinary get on that last shot from Medvedev. Full stretch, kind of the improvised squash shot. And that ball was probably going to land in, and it caught Wawrinka in no man's land with the high backhand volley, which is a difficult shot at the best of times.
So with the advantage to love.
And to me, Lee, Medvedev looks fresher now than he did in the first set. So maybe adrenaline has clearly kicked in, and also knowing fairly close to a semifinal berth.
Hoping all the hard yards pay off. It's worked hard on his physical conditioning the last couple of years, as well as the mental side of the game, Medvedev. His coach, Gilles Savara, said the first time he walked into the club, he didn't even know he was a tennis player.
Thought he was a gamer?
That resemble the physique of a professional tennis player.
15-30.
Well, I think that's something that was overlooked in the early diagnosis of Medvedev. I know I for sure overlooked it. I didn't foresee him getting in the top 10, needless to say the top 5. I was coaching Jack Sock last year when Jack played in Canada and had a clear strategy, things that really make it difficult for Medvedev, and that's no longer the case. He used to struggle a lot when you hit the short slice to the forehand. Hard for him to get underneath it. Wasn't that comfortable moving forward.
30-40.
Well, an immediate opportunity for Wawrinka again. There's a bit more volume from the New Yorkers. You want to see a 5th set. Oh, that's an incredible do.
I mean, you can't even describe the degree of difficulty that last shot was for Medvedev. But further to my point, how far back is he here? Right here. He's so far back, you can't go through him. You've got to try to go more inside in or just a little short ball and move forward. I talked earlier about north and south, east and west. This guy's the master of absorbing pace.
He's pushing for a 3-love advantage here.
Advantage, Medvedev.
Lee, you mentioned his coach, Gilles Savara, said that Medvedev is a very smart guy. And to me, it really shows on the tennis court. He reads the play so well.
Deuce.
Wonder how many more chances Wawrinka will get to work his way back into this 4th set. 2-1 and 3-love would be a sizable task.
Advantage, Medvedev.
Precision from the Russian.
For anyone else, you might say low percentage shot there, but we know Stan Wawrinka can make the one-handed backhand up the line consistently. Just been a fraction off throughout the match.
Another wonderful combination, this time off the backhand wing. That could be a big hold.
Balls, please.
Not too far away. 3-love, 4th set. Well, once more, it's been a mesmerizing, bamboozling performance from Daniil Medvedev. Low on energy. But his He's been causing Wawrinka all sorts of problems this afternoon.
Love 15. No.
Interesting, even in that point right there, you saw a little confusion from Wawrinka. Didn't quite know if he should hit and move forward. A little bit confused right now. He's Wawrinka. It's just a smart shot. In my opinion, Medvedev does not move
15.
nearly as good north-south as he does east-west. He's so far back on the return. Even if he gets there, Wawrinka is going to be in an excellent position at the net.
Medvedev challenging the call on the left baseline. The ball was called in.
He changed his mind there. He initially stopped the point. Yeah, just clipped the back edge. Confirmed by the chase
14.
review.
Medvedev has 2 challenges remaining. Game Wawrinka.
He's looked a little bit sluggish up to that final backhand, but he's got the break.
Medvedev leads 3-1. Fourth set.
He's still hoping, believing that Stan the man can turn this one around. Just another reminder that it is usopen.org, the place to head for the official tournament website. usopenshop.org is the official shop for the 2019 US Open merchandise. Largest collection of 2019 tees, caps, towels, outerwear and collectibles.
Love.
Of course, we're entering a slightly different phase of the match now, Mark, where Daniil Medvedev, that Grand Slam semi-final spot, is just coming over the hill, isn't it, into view.
Well, I mentioned he's got a big first serve, so he plays pretty well from ahead. He knows how to protect his serve. Oh my goodness, you talk about getting away with one. A very poor first volley from Medvedev, but he continues to stay in there. That volley there was poor, good hands there, and then he stays active at the net. Terrific reach there. Stole one. Thumbs up from Wawrinka.
Let. Wawrinka challenged the call on the right center service line. The ball was called in. Let for service. Wawrinka has 2 challenges remaining.
So 30 love, first serve. That one's long. Wawrinka at his best.
30-15.
Oh, that is such a difficult shot there. Moving backwards from the center of the court. Hits the inside of the ball and hits a clean winner inside out. Watch this. That is tremendous racket control from Medvedev.
I mean, that's unplayable, isn't it? The way that's just skidding
Look at the side spin he puts on that ball.
Fault.
Makes you think a little bit of David Ferrer, guy who kind of would trap the ball.
Just a little bit closer now, Daniil Medvedev, to a semi-final spot here in New York. 4-1, fourth set. It's a game he's got to win, Wawrinka. Simple as that. 4-1 down in the fourth. Trails 2-1. Medvedev. Pretty cheap first point. An apology that time.
Love 30.
This would be a huge bonus for Medvedev if you can get the security of a double break. Just take all the drama out of the situation. I've seen him get tight on two occasions, Mark.
30.
First in Monte Carlo, he was playing the semis against Dusan Lajovic, and he was, if memory serves, 5-1 up in the first set. Lost that set, and the second set got away from him. And a second time in Canada this year.
15-14.
He was playing his good friend, fellow Russian Karen Khachanov. That was in the semis, and it got awfully close trying to close that one out. He sunk into his chair and he said, I almost choked it into the camera. Which was amusing, but I quite like the honesty in some ways. I wasn't trying to hide away from the fact. But maybe the lead is
Medvedev.
sufficient now that it takes any anxiety out of the situation.
Medvedev leads 5-1.
That's a real stunner for me, that game. That was a poor game from Wawrinka. As you mentioned, all players still get tight. If they don't, they're lying to you. But now Medvedev in a commanding position.
15, love.
And it's a set that has felt like it's really raced away from Wawrinka.
Flown by.
3 points away.
$15-all.
12th double, first of the set.
He's served pretty well since that opening set, right? He had 9 of them in the opening set. Oh,
30.
that's just
15.
what the doctor ordered there. 128 up the tee. Uncanny ability to just go to the next point. Medvedev has.
40-15.
Back-to-back aces. And after 2 hours, 34 minutes on court, it's the Russian Daniil Medvedev with 2 match points.
Oh,
Game 7 match Medvedev.
punishment.
3-1.
Daniil
7-6,
Medvedev
6-3,
is a
3-6,
Grand Slam
6-1.
semi-finalist. Somehow, despite all the tennis he's played this season, he has dug out another win, potentially the biggest of his career. He's got it done in 4 sets against Stan Wawrinka. We'll be seeing him in the semi-finals.
Daniil, through to the first major semi-final of your career. What does the moment mean to you?
It's very tough to say because I think we all saw that the match was really strange. I had really big pain in my quadriceps, and I thought I'm not going to continue the match in the first set. And I saw that it was buzzer instant because I know how it is to play an injured player. It's tough because you try to just put the ball in and then the guy like me starts to hit everything. So I feel really strange about this match, but I need to say I'm happy to be in my first major semifinal.
We saw you tending to what was happening physically. Where do you stand right now?
To be honest with you, before the match I was feeling perfect, and all these tapes are just for protection. And I think in the first game of the match, I think I pulled my quadriceps a little bit. I took a painkiller in the first set, so I think in the fourth set actually I started feeling the painkiller and I could move normal. So I'm going to see tomorrow morning for sure how I feel, but I mean I will do my best to be 100% for the semis.
Daniil, you have had a very interesting ride here through to the semifinals in New York City. You give a wry smile knowingly. How would you describe your relationship to the New York crowds?
I have only I have two words. First one, for sure, electric, because it's electric. And second one, controversy, because it's like what I've done is not good. So many people support me still. So many people like my interview. So many people don't like me. And I can just say, I try to be myself, guys.
Out on Armstrong, Daniil, for a couple of matches in a row, you took the unusual tack. You addressed the crowds directly. So with the opportunity to do that right now, what do you have to say to this crowd?
I have to say sorry, guys, and thank you.
Daniil Medvedev headed through to the semifinal.